Hello and welcome to Art Destinations. My name is Sarah Rhodes and I live in Lutruwita, Tasmania. I am your host and co-producer of this podcast, which I create alongside Alfio Puglisi, Director of the Sicily Artist-in Residence Program, known as SARP. Art Destinations was born from our shared interest in understanding how defined landscapes shape creative practice and how artists respond to place, especially when working from the edges, the margins or the so-called periphery. In each season, we explore a distinct geography through conversations with artists whose work is rooted in the experience of place. Following our series in Lutruwita, Tasmania and Venice, this season takes us to Sicily, the largest island in the Mediterranean, rich with layers of history, myth and volcanic soil. We'll be exploring how artists live, work and create here, interviewing some of the most compelling voices in contemporary art, working through residencies and site-specific projects. What emerges from these conversations are four key themes that illuminate the ways artists are responding to Sicily today. These themes are collaborating with place, reimagining cultural identity, a return to the material, and from peripheral voices to a global dialogue. We begin with Alfio Puglisi himself, speaking from Lingua Glossa, a town nestled on the slopes of Mount Etna. There, Alfio runs SARP, an international residency and gallery space that invites artists to respond directly to the landscape. His approach treats Etna not just as a backdrop, but as a global site of research, resilience and artistic narrative through his family project Palazzo Butero. Francesco Vullo's work engages deeply with the Sicilian landscape, blending natural elements with contemporary themes. During his exhibition at SARP last year, he developed a project using volcanic rock to explore cycles of destruction and regeneration and the enduring relationship between nature and human expression. Similarly, Irene Coppola's installations respond to the uneasy coexistence of nature and habitation. An artist born in Mameloni and living in Palermo, where she and her husband run a contemporary art and architecture studio project space called Spaziomateria. Irene Coppola's practice centres on site-specific installations that explore how humans relate to their environment. Her recent work on Mount Etna looks at the quiet tension of a land that remembers its own eruptions. These conversations reveal just a few ways artists and curators are attuned to the landscape. The second theme that emerged is reimagining cultural identity. Sicily's identity is layered, shaped by ancient myths, colonial histories, religious symbols, and a sense of distance from dominant cultural centres. For many artists, it's a place of return, revision, and reimagination. We are in conversation with Elisa Giardina Papa, a Sicilian-born artist currently living in New York, who represented Italy at the Venice Art Biennale in 2022. We look at two of her video installation works that will make a trilogy exploring the undefinable in Sicily. In the Biennale work Uscantu a Disorderly Tale, Elisa Giardina Papa reimagines Sicilian identity through the haunting and symbolic figure of the goat, alongside ceramic sculptures and a video of a group of teenagers riding bikes with sound systems traversing the utopian city of Gibellina. The video work explores the Sicilian folk tradition of the Donna de Fora, which means women with supernatural powers, and their persecution during Sicily's Spanish Inquisition to reveal themes of shame, resistance and ancestral inheritance. Painter Alessandro Giorgi draws from the stories, icons and flora of the island to build dreamlike compositions, lemons, saints, prickly pears, each object recontextualised through a surrealist lens. Giorgi's painting suggests that cultural identity is not fixed, but something we recreate each time we remember, or misremember, where we come from. These artists are not merely documenting Sicilian identity, they are reshaping it, challenging its dominant narratives, and reclaiming space for the personal, the mythic, and the poetic. One of the most compelling threads in this season is the return to material, not as nostalgia, but as critical embodied knowledge. We speak with Aurora Passero following her project last year in Sicily at Ortigia Contemporanea, where she first met Alfio Puglisi. Her work investigates traditional Sicilian craftsmanship with a particular focus on locally sourced wool and textile weaving techniques. Supported by the Office for Contemporary Art Norway and Norwegian Crafts, Aurora's project brings Nordic and Mediterranean material cultures. She will continue this research with a new site-specific installation at SARP on Mount Etna, responding directly to the volcanic landscape and its craft heritage. We speak with Vito Planeta, a member of the renowned Planeta winery, pioneers in contemporary winemaking and cultural engagement in Sicily. For years, the family has explored the intersection of art and territory through projects like Viaggio in Sicilia and Scia Nuova Festival, among others. Now, as a new voice within the family, Vito brings a fresh perspective, curating ambitious collaborations with international artists like Vanessa Beecroft and Claire Fontaine, and local talents such as Ignazio Mortallaro. In Sicily, material is never neutral. It holds history, labour and narrative. Whether it's volcanic stone, woven wool or pigment drawn from the soil, these artists treat material not just as a medium, but as a way of thinking, a method of tuning into place. From peripheral voices to a global dialogue is our fourth theme. Sicily may be geographically peripheral, but it is definitely deeply connected, historically, culturally and artistically. This season reveals how the island operates as a node in a much wider network of dialogue and exchange. We speak with Hanna Burkart, whose recent work in Sicily explores themes of dwelling, intimacy and landscape. During her time at SARP, she created a site-specific installation inspired by her experiences living in the residency space itself. Her project includes Kissing on Paper, a delicate series capturing the traces of presence and absence, alongside the evocative photographs of the ancient cave dwellings of Pantalica and Espica. Through these works, Hanna reflects on the layered histories of shelter, solitude and connection in the Sicilian landscape. Meanwhile, Claudio Gulli, former curator at the Louvre Museum and now art historian of Palazzo Butero in Palermo, shares how collectors Francesca and Massimo Valsecchi have positioned the institution as a cultural anchor in southern Italy. Through an ambitious program of contemporary art and heritage restoration, Palazzo Butero offers a model for how peripheral locations can operate as international platforms, rooted yet outward-facing. These episodes demonstrate the so-called periphery can, in fact, be a centre, one defined not by capital cities, but by porousness, slowness and deep engagement with place. We hope you enjoy this season of Art Destinations Sicily. Through these conversations, we invite you to see Sicily not just as a place on the map, but as a way of being. Each episode will be published fortnightly. Please sign up to our email newsletter on artdestinations.org, follow us on Apple Podcasts and Spotify or your preferred listening platform, and see the work of these artists and curators on our Instagram page at artdestinations.podcast. I'm your host, Sarah Rhodes. Ciao for now.